About to unpack everything and figured I'd kind of show off my little comfortable setup. I call it the business class setup. I wanted to see if the DR how it would do with all of my really comfortable campsite setup. And yeah, of course it did fine. It's a DR650. Went for a little dip in the drink this morning, leaving camp. Took a wrong turn and got turned around in a puddle, and yeah, here we go. So yeah, all my gear worked. Everything stayed dry so far. I haven't seen anything wet coming out of the bags, but I figured while I unpack it, just kind of show what you can actually get away with on something like this. Talking about comfort stuff, these are really cool. These are pretty cheap option. Moose Racing kind of keeps the cold off your hands. Also got the Koso heated grips, front and rear Cogent suspension. That's really well worth it. Seat concept seat, bigger Cherubies tank, 5-gallon, little wind deflector. Between this and this, keeps it all off my chest and my shoulders, which is really okay by me. I don't like buffeting, so I've tried other windscreens. I just thought they just caused too much turbulence. This cheap Puge, I think is how you say it, is it works just fine. The Giant Loop Diablo tank bag. I also have the bigger one, but I find that one kind of hits me in the nuts a little bit when I'm standing up, so I don't use it. Just random stuff in there. Firebox stove, man. This is key. These are so nice. I'll put some pictures in, but you can make a nice little fire and you can get a bed of coals. You could cook over it. I don't. I just use it for fire. Just a little bit of heat, just enough, you know. It kept me warm. It was in the 40s, and it really did. It was nice. I love this thing. I don't ever want to put too much pressure up here on the tank breather nozzle. I've had it where I had this thing overfilled and it pushed down and kinked that, and I was on the freeway and the thing just pooped out, and that's not a good place to do it. So it seems to happen at the worst times, so I'm really careful about that. So mostly just light stuff, except for the firebox. It's kind of heavy, but it stays toward the back of the bag. It doesn't interrupt with that, so that's cool. I do use paper maps, Butler maps. I pretty much base my whole trips around these. They just kind of have always told me where to go, and damn it, they work. So it's good stuff. Kind of empty this out a little bit. A good double-walled coffee cup. Also works as a great cocktail cup. You can put your whiskey on ice and it'll last a while. I love this thing. And it's Patagonia, which is kind of cool. Speaking of whiskey, a little bottle of Crown. And a bunch of snacks, protein bars, nuts, all that good shit. Some more some snacks and some bunch of electronic cables, a little camp light, a little pump to pump up my AirPads. Makes things really easy. An extra battery, extra small batteries, just anything to charge stuff that I need to do. Rain jacket, just a cheapo rain jacket, fits over my riding gear. I have Gore-Tex gear, but this really, if it's really pouring, this is nice to have. This just keeps your gear from getting soaked to the core, and also it adds a little bit of warmth. It's amazing what that outer shell can do, considering if you have a good mid-layer system going on too. It really does help. Although I didn't use it. It got pretty damn cold on the coast on this trip, and I didn't need it. But when I was in Oregon last year, around right at the beginning of winter, I would have loved to have had this. So it's always going to go with me now. Hat. Ooh, another hat. Cleveland Moto, ride fast, take chances. Sweet. Thanks, guys. Appreciate this little Patreon gift. Pretty sweet. Warm weather gloves, vented. Nice to have the two options. And I got random sock. We just got back, so it's going to be kind of messy in here, I think. Got our 15-degree Nemo Disco 15. This is my first trip with this one. I've had the other one, but I kind of scaled up to the 15 and got the down. I had the 20, the synthetic. This is really, really nice. It can go smaller, but it's down and it's light. So I have the room up top to keep all the light stuff. This will be with me anytime that it's not June through August. I'm going to be taking this sucker. And the iPad. I really like having this because you can watch movies. I download a bunch of movies to it before I go. I've got a whole assortment of movies on this thing, and the music that comes out of it, the tunes sound really good for what it is. So much better than an iPhone. It's not quite as good as my, I've got one of those JBL clip speakers, which is it's just cool. If you got the room, it's not big at all, but everything adds up, especially, on the Dual Sport. This is all the stuff from my big adventure bike back there, my V-Strom. So, fitting it all on a Dual Sport that can go trampling through mud bogs, and I can still pick it up with all the gear on it. I mean, I gotta watch what I'm carrying. So anyway, what I'm saying is this does serve multiple purposes. It's great for sitting scouting out a route when I stop. Once I get Wi-Fi, I can connect it to my phone. In fact, actually I think this thing's even on, I think this even is on 5G. Yeah, I think I do pay for a subscription just for those purposes. So yeah, that also does have the SOS. My phone has SOS, and I also carry a InReach Mini on me in my jacket all the time. So I've got a lot of options. I do these trips on my own, so it's really, I just don't want to. It's just peace of mind having all of the options. And yeah, this came out of my cooler. Yum. And the beaver tail, you can pop that open. We've got the tent poles bag. Sits on securely. It's actually partially undone. Which actually point is that I was up on the northern California coast, and it's rough up there. And there was some hard going in some of the trails I was on. And I had just a liter water bottle. This thing was halfway off. This thing was barely strapped down. It just stayed on. I shouldn't say barely strapped down. It wasn't like cinched as tight as I'm used to having to do on other luggage systems. So yeah, how about that? And here I've got the tent poles, tent stakes. I believe I have my the platform base thing that goes down on the ground in there as well. Keep that separate from my tents because it gets dirty. And I also have a can of WD-40 and a can of chain wax in there, so I can just do chain maintenance as needed, and some rags, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. And that comes off. Oh, cooler. Got a little ice mule cooler, and this thing's also a backpack. So if I go to town and I get camp set up, I could load this thing up with ice. Or what I normally do is it just kind of straps on here together, and I can fit a couple beers and some snacks and something for dinner and probably the breakfast the next day, and just enough to survive for the night. It's just having a cold beers when you go camping. Can't beat that. And I guess lastly, got a tarp. This stinger bag. Yeah, let's talk about this stinger bag. This thing's incredible, man. It has these Velcro things that sit on, but it doesn't need it. In fact, I always have the tarp underneath it just because it just stores there really well. And I don't even really use the Velcro normally when I have that tarp. I mean, I can put it underneath the tarp, underneath here, under the bag, but then I got to unstrap everything. And this, like I said, I've been going through some serious stuff yesterday, and the past 3 days, really. like really gnarly stuff, and nothing fell off, nothing came loose. This beaver tail just kind of holds everything together. So, backpack, stinger bag, also a backpack. You got, unzip this, and it's got straps come out. It's a surprisingly nice backpack. Got these nice, airy, wide straps, even a buckle up top to keep it tight. I mean, you could really trek with this thing. I walked up and down the beach with it, carrying my chair, and then on the way back, I filled it up with firewood, just enough firewood that I needed to run the firebox for like 3 hours, all fit in this thing. And I had a good solid flame. I wasn't really chinsing on it. I was just feeding sticks as fast as it would take them, and it all fit in here. So I don't know, man. This is a really cool feature to have, that to really expands your possibilities of what you can do when you're out on these trips. I can't say enough about this bag. I can't believe I didn't realize it, how cool this was until now. And on this side over here, we have coffee and a water filter with a 2-liter water bladder in there. So I filled this up. I lasted 3 days out of really clean, I mean, impeccably clean river water. I wouldn't probably drink out of a puddle because I just don't have to. But I think if you can find a good freshwater source and you're just to be on the safe side, I would totally recommend this. This is a Sawyer pump. It's a squeeze pump. I picked this up on the way up on this trip, and man, I'm glad I did. Oh, and coffee. Must have coffee. And jetboil for coffee. Been using them for years, and they work so well. And coffee filters and towels, and I might even have some ketchup or something in there. Coffee filter holder. They make smaller ones, but this thing just works. And camping pad number 1. If you've ever used two camping pads, 2 sleep mats, pads, whatever you want to call them, it's a game changer. You just blow the bottom one up really hard, and then you can make the top one all fluffy. And if you're an active sleeper like I am, you don't ever wake up sore. It's really a nice thing to have. So also, if the critters get in your tent, which they have for me, then puncture your pad, they're going to get this one probably and not the top one. At least that's what happened to me last year in Joshua Tree. They ate through my tent and found a RX bar and probably fed them for a week. Little bastards. And then the second, I've got some silverware. And then the second pad, the tensor, Nemo tensor. This is the wide and long. Nice having that extra space in your sleeping area. And yeah, these are great, man. It's super light. It's probably weighs half the weight of that smaller Climate one. These are, if you only can have one, gotta recommend this. And if you can have 2, you might as well have this as well, because it just really works very well. And the tent, my Big Agnes Fly Creek 3. It's really easy to set up, packs down small enough, and it's got plenty of room. If you're stuck in a terrible conditions and you got nowhere to go, it's not a bad place to just hang out in here all day. Maybe not all day, but for a couple hours at least. So it's not that much bigger than my 2-person tent, and it just offers just that much more comfort. And you can easily fit all of your gear inside and still have room to move around, and it really works very well. I like like this. These guys, these are nice. These Helinox chairs. This is I think their first one, the one or something like that. Awesome chair, super comfortable. Not too hard to get in and out of. Packs down small enough. Very nice thing to have. And gotta keep forgetting stuff. I also keep a pair of shoes. Now these I actually started taking off the bike, but I put them back in just for dramatic effect. Normally I put these in a like a bag, like a dry bag. Just obviously you don't want to have wet shoes. So just some cheapo walking shoes, or not cheapo, but old, just whatever you got. And on this side, we got flip-flops. I do like to keep those. They're nice when you're by a creek. Even if it's going to be cold, it's just nice having those. Taking a shower in a public shower. Man, no athlete's foot. They're just good to have. I'm glad I brought them. Glasses holder for my riding glasses, and also I can fit my Insta360 camera in here as well, along with the tools, to keep that protected. So pretty much always have my glasses on. Toiletries, basic simple stuff, sunscreens and Advil and Tums and all that good stuff. And then more like actual medical kit. Normally I keep this more accessible, but it's just all kind of thrown together right now. Electric toothbrush. And some just random clothes. I always like to keep a pair of swimming trunks too. And a towel. I'm so glad I brought this towel. This just so nice having a towel, being able to clean up at the end of the day, or if you're gonna happen to be taking a bath or something, or a shower or whatever. Just nice having a towel. Clean your feet, if anything. And just a bunch of riding gear. Got the kind of merino lightweight and midweight, and it's nice to just kind of have those both options. And if it really gets nasty, you can put both on, and I've done that before too. Tools and tubes, front and rear tube. I do have tire spoons in here as well. That was another thing in this pocket. I do have both front and rear tubes. I used to ride with both, with just the front, and have the option of using it in the rear if you need to, but I figured why not. This setup, with this 80-liter setup, I was able to fit the second tube in there, and it's just kind of a peace of mind. And I didn't need it on this trip. I didn't need anything on this trip. I had everything I needed, and it was, I was out in the middle of nowhere by myself for almost 3 days. So you got to be pretty self-reliant when you're out there. And it was gnarly trails getting in and out of it. So, if you get a flat out there, you're in deep trouble if you don't have what you need. In here, I do have most of the sockets. Something really nasty happened. But it's probably not going to, because it's a DR650. And some rope. Charlie Bronson always needed some rope. And what else is this guy here? Oh, tire pump. I don't know, it's just what do they call this? Aeromoto. Yeah, Aeromoto. I've been using it for quite a while. My mom got it for me for Christmas, and it freaking works, dude. All right, and that's it. Love this motorcycle.